specifically you are and kind of how you got started in the Web3 space before we get started?
Sure. I'll fire away. So, hi everybody. I'm Robin. I guess my Web3 journey started quite a number of years ago. I was early into ICOs. I was actually based in Nigeria about over 12 years ago now. When I first started looking at Bitcoin, I didn't do anything about it, but I started seeing. I was head of a family office there, and I started seeing kind of the use cases of crypto because the local currency issues and because of problems with repatriation of money and various things. I moved back to London. I was working in conventional kind of advisory business, emerging markets, but I still kind of was dipping in and out of crypto for some time. Wasn't taking it that seriously, but was kind of really, really interested. Eventually, this took over, as I think was the case with most people. For me, especially, it was just before COVID. Sometimes I wonder if I can remember when that was, but it was just before COVID. And I kind of really got into NFTs, which was kind of the bit of crypto, I guess, which stuck and the bit which made sense to me. And like most people probably on this call, I was kind of degenning in and out of projects, made a bit of money, lost money, the usual kind of story. But for some reason, it kind of stuck with me. It made sense with me. So I spent pretty much the whole of COVID learning, self-educating about Web3, NFTs, etc., etc. Towards the end of COVID, I was kind of in conversations with Outlier Ventures, which is the largest Web3 accelerator in the world. At that stage, I think there was about 35 people in the team. And I got brought in to head up the kind of NFT team, the digital assets team. And it was running programs for Polygon, Hedera, Polkadot, some other kind of more general programs. So I went in there and led the team, built the processes, hired the team, and kind of ran maybe over kind of 20 projects during a year period. I guess projects like Farfetch, we did the Web3 strategy for them, and kind of Crypto Walkers, Metropolis World, and lots of kind of other projects. So I get to see things from kind of that side, which was a really unique experience for me because at the same time I was kind of degenning and listening to some of these OGs. I was able to kind of sit on the other side of the fence. So I left that in September last year, having done a year, and I was kind of feeling that I had to drop something, I had to do something, I had to enter this space because I'd seen so many projects and met so many founders and heard their stories and what they were up to, and I thought, okay, you know what, there's definitely legs to this space, and there's definitely something you could do to kind of differentiate and do something a bit different and try and do something that was category defining. It was always this thing. I would sit on investment committees for Outlier Ventures, and we were always looking for category defining NFT projects or digital asset projects that could do something different and could kind of separate themselves from their peers. So yeah, so I just kind of had this burning desire to kind of step out and take a chance and do something properly. So I left and started to build out what is now Dirty Burger Club.
That's an excellent story. I loved it. Love to hear that. Love to see, I don't know, just a good DGenny NFT people, create projects. Love to see the journeys that people came up on. So, okay, let's just jump right into it. Give us a quick high level overview of what Dirty Burger Club is, what you guys are hoping to bring to the space that's not already here.
Yeah. So just kind of continuation from that. I was kind of interested in this idea of what a project looked like that was able to be an NFT project and appeal to a community and build a community around a specific culture, but at the same time have this ability to kind of cross over into something that could have a kind of a Web2 footprint as well. So I was looking at projects, looking at what people like G Money were doing with 90cc, looking at people like Mike Dudas, what he was doing with LinksDAO, and seeing kind of the grown up, I guess, those projects, but then at the same time appreciating the kind of cultural, the cultural meme projects as well, like Rec Guys and projects like this, which have done so well. So what we wanted to do is essentially create a Web3 food brand, um, a brand that was able to combine the culture of food with the culture of Web3, and introduce other key things in that, such as fashion, and kind of Web3, Web2 experiences. So basically, we're creating a digital food brand, and we feel that we're probably the first one to do this. Yes, there's other food projects in the space, that I'm sure people are familiar with, but we'll be the first ones to have actually created a food brand through Web3.
Okay, so when we talk about food brands, we're talking like, like McDonald's, Wendy's, and so when we talk about that, are we talking about actual, I'll be able to get a dirty burger somewhere? Is that what we're talking about?
So we're doing the thing that matters to me is the cultural aspect and where we can point that digitally, and then look at where that can transition. So I don't want to promise you that you're going to go and be able to get a Dirty Burger Club, tomorrow, but the idea is to create a brand strong enough in Web3 that we could create these real life experiences. Yes, and that is, we have kind of built a team around, with a vision to be able to do that. So it's about activations. It's about delivering something to the community. And there are ways to do that, and there are ways to hopefully do that in the right way. So obviously, fashion is one of our areas that we're really keen on. Fashion is a really great way of building a brand. Fashion is a really great way of bringing utility and bringing something to the community. We're also looking at other digital activations as well, in several metaverses, and then we want to be able to transition this and take this brand anywhere. So yeah, it's as with the most successful NFT projects, it's about building that brand with a community in mind.
Got it. Understood. So can you maybe get so right now? I like to make sure that we're all on the same page. Obviously, Harold has a slideshow up here to show us kind of what we're talking about, but all these kinds of things are going to be presented through a collection, all right, of 5,555 NFT burgers, so to speak. Is that right?
Yeah, correct. So we have kind of two stages here. So again, we're trying to be innovative. We're trying to do things a little bit differently. We have an initial drop called a PAL, or proof of allow list, which will be a free claim, on Arbitrum. Chosen Arbitrum because obviously gasless. We want to be able to make it seamless and completely free for everyone. That proof of allow list is kind of your key to the main mint, which is, obviously 5,555 burgers. That'll be on ETH on Rarible, who are our launch partner for this. Again, we chose Rarible because they showed us incredible support from the beginning. They actually came to us and said, "We want this project. We've got a new kind of launch pad we're launching, which they're launching very soon, and we want you guys to be out the gates with us." So to have that kind of support early on was really interesting. Obviously, we wanted to drop on ETH, so it made perfect sense for us. And again, doing this proof allow list, doing this free claim, which will be launched in the next few days, is also another way for us to have kind of a forward thinking, view on how to build out a community beyond an initial drop. Because always conscious of the fact that a lot of projects will drop a Genesis collection, and then they'll always be thinking about how to expand their community, how to rebuild it. Whereas this proof of allow list, which is actually an SBT, a soul-bound token, allows us to think about how to expand that community and how to build out different parts of that project going forward.
Got it. Okay. Well, let's kind of just talk about some of the benefits of being a part of Burger Club. Maybe kind of go into a little bit of what we can expect after the mint.
Yeah, sure. So I think there's a couple of cool things immediately after mint to think about. So firstly, like, our art is just on the mint itself. Our art is crazy. So I'm not sure if Harold is in the mood to share to share a piece of our art. Maybe he is. Maybe he can be tempted to do so. But yeah, the art is insane. So we were really serious about making sure that the actual burgers, the attributes, the art itself was really strong. And we So we found this incredible artist called Finn. I won't try and pronounce his last name, but he's an artist that works a lot with textures. And this idea of choosing a burger was, I think, was really interesting because what a burger represents, it represents this iconography of being able to translate across kind of multiple cultures, genders. It's completely borderless. You know, everyone from Japan to the USA to anywhere knows what a burger looks like. So it presents us with a very unique opportunity, which is creating this piece of art with kind of meme value that can cross any project. You know, you can imagine someone with a one of our burgers in the mouth of a mutant, or one of our burgers in the mouth of a pudgy, or something like this. You can imagine our burger being able to cross all projects. So the most important thing is it's not a PFP. We see it as kind of a collaboration tool. And because of that, we've had amazing reaction from a lot of the major projects in the space who've kind of we've reached out to, they've reached out to us. They see us as kind of collaborative. They don't see us as, oh, it's a PFP project sort of in competition with us. So just around the kind of art and the choice of the iconography is really interesting. But obviously then it offers a challenge, right? Because everyone knows what a burger looks like. It means that we have to create something that people are like, oh wow, we wouldn't imagine that, or we hadn't seen something like that. So we've created these burgers that are like textured. The art's super cool. They almost look 3D. So really pumped about people just seeing the art itself. And some of the rare tiered burgers are just unbelievable. I mean, I wanna mint like all of them. So I'm gonna have to have a problem with that. So I really like the art. Art is one thing that I think is people are gonna absolutely love. But beyond that, early after the drop, we have a kind of a secret source drop which we're doing shortly after. And this drop actually will be something that we will keep building on. And this is this kind of concept of every artist or every OG or every project that we collaborate with being able to drop a one-of-one burger. And it's kind of how they see a dirty burger through their lens in collaboration with our artist. So we have some really great projects already done that have done these kind of one-of-ones. They'll be auctioned off after our drop. A percentage of that drop will go to a food charity, which will be chosen by the community, hopefully. So we've got some cool collaborations there. We've got like a sneakerheads burger, which is really cool. We've got some, I don't know if I can say, but we have some like a very well-known artist in the space doing one. We have one with Zeneca. So we have some really cool things to come immediately afterwards, and then I mentioned fashion before, and that piece is really important in terms of brand building. And merch. I don't like to use the word merch, but I guess our capsule collection that we're putting together I believe is really cool. And the quality and everything we're doing is really strong. And we have on board again, we have like an expert in this space. I guess you can call her that. She's one of the leading fashion stylists in the world. She's also fashion director of Vogue UK. So she's our kind of fashion partner, which gives us great reach in terms of actually developing a product that she'd want to wear and that she thinks is cool, which is good enough for us, but also in terms of being able to kind of see that product in interesting places, and it to scale beyond just kind of a merch that you pick up on the floor at NFT NYC. So that's kind of early doors where you can expect to see some action. But there is some other digital activations and things in the works already. We're already working on some interesting metaverse experience, etc. So yeah, that'll be fresh off the bat.
Right on. And it's interesting to me that you were like, hey, we think these are really cool assets, really fashionable, really just interesting 3D looking art. And you mentioned that you're not expecting these to be profile pictures of any kind, and I think that's interesting because I think a lot of 3D projects hope that their 3D project like looks good as a PFP. But you mentioned that these are kind of accessories with other brands and with other communities. Can you maybe give an
Yeah.
example of the communities that you guys are launching with or are hoping to launch with here soon?
Yeah, so we're like I mentioned one of them. So we've been I mean we collaborated with a lot. I mean Harold is our partnership and collaborations expert here. So maybe Harold, you could step up and talk on this if you want. I don't know what we can
Yeah,
say and what we can't, so maybe you can jump in.
yeah, definitely. I think off the bat, as Robin mentioned, the 333 Club has been awesome to us. Sneakerheads, Sam, that a popular name on the NFT side, hoping to do we are actively working on a collaboration with him. A certain penguin theme project, looking for an IRL activation with them shortly after drop, as well as a certain woman focused project that we are cooking up something with. So a lot in the pipeline. Again, as Robin mentioned, there's digital elements to a lot of this work, but also physical pieces. I think physical element is something that we're focusing a lot on. One, from the food angle, but two, from the physical merchandising angle. I'll use merchandising as a catch-all phrase, and reveal a little bit more as we progress. But again, it's a two-pronged structure for us from the jump, and again, it's a collaborative effort with the Dirty Burger Club. It's in no capacities do we see this as extractive to a Web3 community. I think two of the projects that we take a liking to, particular for the execution, obviously Chex has kind of set the tone recently as a non-PFP project, and I think that really bodes well for the DBC mission. And then also, pay homage to an OG in the space, 6529, with the meme series. I think those are two projects as non-PFP projects that we're taking a lot of inspiration from, and then shoving that through the lens of food and iconography of a burger. I think it has, as Robin mentioned, has that nice tone of it has a nice tone of fun and kind of like the mementic value of it's pretty strong, but also through the lens of some serious, well thought out high art. So the kind of juxtaposition is something that we're really excited about, and something that we are going to push a lot through the journey of this project. There's going to be a lot of rewriting, a lot of flipping traditional understandings of burgers on its head. So looking to write our own story. And then again, wrapping it all in a super fun, action-packed lore that's going to take all of our holders and people experiencing the brand on a pretty interesting journey. Robin talks about kind of our lore pretty well, so I'll let him expand on that. But again, it's kind of teasing that out on Twitter. If you guys are interested in flipping through, we've teased out the initial part of the transportation. The transportation of our burgers is our birthing story, and where we go from there. I'm excited to show the community. But yeah, Robin, if you want to talk a little bit about the lore and our intergalactic approach.
Absolutely. Thanks, Howard. Yeah, so regarding the lore, we've obviously come up with this pretty crazy intergalactic story of what would it look like if kind of a franchise was not just bound to a sole planet, but what if it was intergalactic? What if there was, a place where such franchises existed, and our vessel was hurtling through space, having to deliver its very precious cargo of burgers to that location. So we have a really cool lore being properly developed and written around this. It's very sci-fi. So it's and we've produced these pretty amazing assets, these video assets with a company called Mad, based out of London, that does kind of really high end video stuff. So we kind of went all in on this project a little bit with the assets, both on the art and also the kind of video production stuff, which I think shows the quality and commitment that the team have made to this. And again, you can look on our Twitter at some of those videos. And obviously there's more and more assets to be released.
Right on. Okay, so and thanks for that explanation, guys. Very, very awesome stuff. Can we maybe, I guess, I know we're talking about the fashion and the cultivation of the brand. Is there any insight or maybe any roadmap onto potential because I'll be honest with you guys, I'm a burger man myself. I love a good fucking burger. I've probably thrown down more burgers than anyone else in the world, guaranteed. But um, I want to know, like, what's the likelihood? When's the likelihood of us maybe seeing y'all's first foray into the culinary space?
Okay, I'll take this. So I think what I can tell you on this, and I can tell you three things. One, we are fully focused on delivering IRL food experiences. Secondly, the crazy thing is, since we've come out and had these conversations with the kind of projects that Harold was talking about, those projects have already reached out to us and said, we would love you to do culinary experiences with us in various experiences or various activations in various venues in various things kind of all over the place. And that's fantastic to hear off the bat. I mean, we feel like, okay, we're definitely doing something right, for these projects to actually ask us to partner up with them in this way. But at the same time, it's super important to, if we are to deliver and when we are to deliver these IRL experiences, we have to maintain quality, and it has to be done to a level that we think is in keeping with the brand we're building, right? And it's really important to keep that consistency. So we've actually gone out and reached a kind of, I guess they're one of the leading food consultants in the world. And we're already kind of in talks with them about what it would look like, about how we can execute, where we can execute, and how quickly. So we are taking that pretty seriously. I would like and I would expect to see some form of IRL food activation, definitely within this year. But it all depends on the drop and how things go afterwards. But we are already in talks. We are already taking this seriously, and we do think we can do something pretty cool. And we'll be being able to take a burger and being able to take the quality of what an innovative burger or a different kind of burger would look like, and wrapping it in this Web3 tech stack is a very, very interesting prospect. The opportunity for somebody to go into somewhere or go into an experience with their NFT and interact with that in a way that, okay, maybe it was a secret menu, maybe they were able to access things that other people couldn't. Maybe they're able to kind of benefit from on-chain loyalty points, et cetera, et cetera. It's a massive opportunity, and it's super exciting to see how that can play out. So we're already deep in conversations with this. We are planning for these things, and we wouldn't drop this project if we weren't serious about delivering real experiences. So yeah, I'm glad you like burgers because hopefully we'll have something very exciting coming up.
Maybe Ryan will be able to buy dirty burgers from different locations in different forms from different people. Who knows?
Who knows, right?
Glad to hear that. Who knows? But glad to hear that, Ryan. I think you'll like what we have cooking for you.
Love the pun as well. Great. I'll open this up for questions from the audience if anyone has one. But while we wait for that, is there maybe something specific about the project that maybe we haven't touched on that you guys want to make sure people walk away today, like saying, "Oh yeah, like that made me bullish on this."
I guess just one thing to speak to you, Ryan, is one thing you mentioned that's really interesting is you said you're a burger lover and you're crazy about burgers. And everyone in the space is always about, okay, how do we build a community? How do we scale a community? How do we grow a community? And I think that's a huge opportunity here is that in real life, the burger community are kind of degen, right? If you go into kind of where burger lovers are, the way they will find like these mom and pop places and these specific burger joints, hole in the wall kind of style. They'll drive, across the world and travel here, there, and everywhere to find that kind of perfect burger and to try this burger they've heard about. And there is this kind of subculture of burger lovers that is massive, and it extends, regionally, globally, internationally, etc. And the more I got to know, and the more I've kind of researched this community, the more I see parallels with the NFT community. So what if those two communities were connected? What if they were put together? What if there was a brand, a product, a project that could connect those two people? How would that look, and what potential would that have to scale? So that cultural element, connecting these communities through an NFT project is really exciting.
Yeah, because I mean, on we've seen it time and time before in Web3 and with NFTs here, that people are like, oh, we're trying to build a community. We're trying to build a community, and it's like, okay, well, like that's great. You're trying to build a community, but do you think launching a a bunch of pictures of monkeys is really going to unite everyone together as a community? And granted, it's worked in some cases, but at the same time, I like the idea of you guys coming and saying, hey, there's a community of people that like burgers all fucking ready. Like that's not a thing that the Web3 created. That's something that already exists, and branching that out into the Web3 space is very interesting. Not that you guys are like the first ones to like think of something like that, but I do think it's a very interesting take on saying like, hey, there's already community here. Let's like cultivate that community here on the Web3 space. So I really do like that messaging and the way you guys are attacking that. It seems like.
Yeah, no, I would agree with you, Ryan. I think we're not building, we're leveraging existing content. Like, we're a burger is a burger, two buns and some stuff inside. It's like taking that and building on top of that is special for us because, as you said, we're not trying to necessarily, like, while we are building our own unique IP, like in no way is kind of our art or our vibe necessarily is it kind of isolating. It's we see it as 100% expansive in all ways, in all shapes, in all forms, like from the art to like the ability to have physical merchandise in a couple different forms, to then to be able to like eat a dirty burger. Like there's so much to do. I think for us, the NFT, Robin and I have been working a long time on the Web3 side, and I think it's about a content. It's about the content. There is so much content we're excited to make around food, around burgers, to share with the NFT world, the Web3 world, and kind of be able to unite a few communities under the commonality of food. Like, Czechs just united a few communities with some Czechs. We're gonna do the same with some burgers. So yeah, really excited about that. Thanks everyone listening in. I really appreciate you guys having us on. Again, if you have any questions, like feel free to reach out to myself at Dirty Burger Chef on Twitter. Robin as well. Robin is your at RPJ. So yeah, no, excited about launch. Look out in the next couple of weeks here. As Robin said, our proof of allow list pals should be going live within the next couple of days, if not the next week. And all MVHQ winners from the raffle that just concluded yesterday will be able to claim a pal, which is kind of our chapter one of our story, but also kind of the key to our Genesis mint and the first pillar of our community. So really excited for that, really excited about the possibilities, and excited to have the MVHQ family on board.
Yeah, I think I speak for everyone here at MVHQ that we are really looking forward to working with you guys and can't wait to see you guys cook. So excited as one of those winners here to participate. So thanks again, guys. Wonderful presentation there, and really excited to see what you guys got cooking. So thanks again.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you very much, everyone. Looking forward to kind of developing this community and this relationship as we go further into the project as well. So thanks everybody for coming. I appreciate it.
Hell yeah. Y'all have a good night. Thanks.